Hi everyone, it's George doing another camp stove in the shed and a cup of tea. So I've got my usual mug, tea bags, milk, and today it's going to be a GOHIKE stove. I will be using this very small kettle. I have this one. You can see this one's actually been used quite a bit, and I've put the water in it. Now I don't know how much water it holds, so I'm going to put it in the mug first and then tip it in. So we'll tip it in there and then tip it in here and make a mess, shall we? Oh, that's one, and we get two in it. I don't think we will. Ooh. About 1.5 mugs of water has gone into that. Now if you're wondering what this is hanging on the end of the water bottle, it's a little container, and in it, I'll just screw this up, in it is water purifying tablets, and these tablets in here, one tablet does 1 litre, and I always keep it attached to the bottle just in case we need to purify any water. So we've got that. So it's 1.5 mugs of water in the kettle, teaspoon. Now this little stove comes in a bag, and I'll get it out. There we go, that's the stove, and this is the pot stand, which is not easy to get out of this bag. And it's a GOHIKE. It's an alcohol stove, and I'll just take this lid off for a minute. Now the stand can be used 2 ways. It can be used with the actual stove sitting that way in it, or can be that way for a pot. Depends on what sort you've got. And I don't know if you can see, there's some lower pieces here, so you can actually get a metal mug in it there if you want. I don't like these. I've got a couple of these. I don't like them at all. They don't work for me. It's a methylated spirit burner or alcohol burner. What I've done is I've put a piece of wire on the top, and I'll show you later on how to use this wire. It's basically to extinguish the flame, like that. You can just drop it on. Some people like throw them on the top and miss, and it doesn't put the thing out. Now the other thing with these lids is you can open and close them to make the flame less or more when you're cooking. I find I've never managed to get that to work properly. Whenever I've closed it, it's put it out, and when I've opened it, tried it halfway, and it's put the flame out. I've never ever got it to simmer anything or any food on the stove. The other fault with these hold methylated spirits, and you normally can have enough fuel in it to cook for 2 people. I've found with age you can store mess in it, but then it's a real bugger to get the lid off, like this one. No, I can't get it off without putting it in the vice or something like that. So watch that, because if it's like used for emergency, or the cap's been put back on when it's warm, it's a real bugger to get it off again. So I'm going to stop the camera while I get the lid off that. Okay, I've got the lid off now, or the cap. There we go, there's quite a bit of mess in it. I don't know whether you can see it, and you can see the burn holes there. And what you're supposed to do, well, first of all, you shouldn't fill it higher than this lip here, so it's up to that lip, but in the inside with mess. Okay, I'm going to put the light down now. Whoops, move a bit closer. And when you first light it, it takes a while to get going, and it's called is blooming, and it actually gets like a flame out of each hole. Right, so let's light it up. I'll put the light down in the shed to a lower setting, and you might be able to see the flame. Don't know whether you can see that. Trouble is, when you use alcohol burners, you can't always see the flame. It's getting warm. Okay, you can see the flame. It's just a flame. When it warms up, there'll be little flames coming out of the holes. And what I do now, before wasting the fuel, I actually put the kettle on, and I will start the watch so I know how long it's going to take. The time is 10 to 11 on my watch, and we'll see how long it takes for it to boil. It's actually started to steam now, and the time is nearly, what's that? Nearly 10 minutes past 11. It's not a rolling boil yet. It's getting there. Okay, the time is actually 10 past 11. Now I'm going to take this off the stove. God, it's hot. Right, now I talked about putting the flame out with this bit of wire. You can imagine, if you haven't got a bit of wire, you've got to hold the cap like that to put it out. And what I find, this bit of garden wire, I just put it over the top like that. It's out. If you imagine, if you're trying to get this, so it's a bit warm, hold this and put it on the flame, it's not very safe, is it? So just a piece of garden wire, you can just put it on like that, first time, and it's out. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Oh, it's a bit warm. Okay, right, there's my cup, tea bag. Give it a stir. Put that over there. Get me milk. I talked about this. These are from Poundland or B&M or the range. I think you buy a pack of 5 for very little money. Single hole in the top, which means you can squeeze sauce or milk out of them, whatever you've got in it. Give it a stir, and there we have a cup of tea in the shed. There we go. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. This tea's a bit wet though. I think it needs something else. I think it needs a Cornish pasty. So if Cornish Walking Trails is watching this, I'm still waiting for my Cornish pasty to arrive, and this would go very nice with this cup of tea. So thanks everyone for watching. Please enjoy and subscribe and like if you want. I shall be doing another one tomorrow with a completely different setup. So cheers everyone.